All right, guys. So once again, Unit 3 is all about functions. So yesterday we kind of talked about what is a function. We talked about how can you tell if something's a function, and we also looked at evaluating. Today we're going to talk about doing operations on functions. Okay, so I'll explain what that means. We're going to talk about how you can combine functions with addition, subtraction, and multiplication. So for instance, I'm going to give you two functions, f and g, and we're going to combine them together in some way. So it looks like the f function is being multiplied by 5. That's a good question. You don't need to write this down. The f function is being multiplied by 5. The g function is being multiplied by 3, and then we're adding them together. So that's combining functions. Okay, so we're going to look at that.
So tell us when to write.
Yeah. And then we'll also talk about how to evaluate functions at an expression. That's kind of weird, but you can plug not just numbers into functions, which is what we did yesterday, but you can actually plug other expressions inside to functions. So that being said, we're going to get started here. Get rid of that, and let me bring up our examples for the day. I'm going to do 3 examples, and then I'm going to let you guys practice a little bit after that. So now this is a good thing to write. So this is a good time to write. Go ahead. So I've got 2 functions here. I've got the g function, and I have the f function. It's asking me to add those together. Okay. So they want me to do g of t plus f of t. So I like to start by just writing what they told me to do first, g of t, f of t. Then underneath of that, I'm going to put some blanks. So let's do that. So I'm going to replace the g and the f just with some open brackets there. Now I'm going to replace g with what it equals. So let me ask Armani, what does g of t equal? You're going to pass? Let me try another person. Aaliyah, what does g of t equal? Yeah, it says right here, g of t equals t plus 5. So since g of t equals t plus 5, I'm going to replace g of t with t plus 5. All right, so what am I going to replace the f of t with? Let me call on someone. Cal, what am I going to replace f of t with? Good. T to the second power plus t. Okay. So we need to go on to the next step. So that's the first thing, though, is you start by writing what they give you, plug in what they are. Now the next step is we want to combine like terms. Combine some like terms here. Now, if you want to write this, you can, but you don't have to. So I'll say it first, and if you already know it, then you don't need to write it down. So let me just ask you a question before you write it down. What are the like terms up there? Do you know what they are? The t and the t are like terms. And that's it, right? Okay, so if you already know that, you don't have to write this down. But like terms are 2 terms. It could be more than 2. Are terms that have the same variable and exponent. So for instance, the t squared here, that is not a like term with the t. Even though they're both t's, that t is a t squared. So you can't combine that. All right. So now how do you combine like terms? Well, let's see. I've got t here and t here. Now if there's just a t, there's a number in front. What is it? They just don't write it. It's a 1. Now, if you have 1t and you want to add to it 1t, what do you get? 2t. All you do is you add the coefficient. So once again, if you didn't know that, then you might want to write that down. To combine like terms, just add the coefficient. It could be add or subtract, as you know, but add or subtract the coefficient. So if you didn't know that, write it down. But if you do know that, then you don't have to. So we have this like term and that like term, they go together, so that's going to be 2t. And I also like to put these things in what's called descending order, which means highest exponent going its way down. So these are done. And then we have a t squared, right? I'm going to put that in the front because it's got the bigger exponent. And then I'm going to put the number last. I don't know. I'm going to put the number last because it doesn't have a t at all. And there it is. So now I made that a little long because I wanted to make sure we talked about all the little details. But let me review with you because the steps are pretty short. So step 1, write what they give you. Step 2, replace them with what they equal in brackets. Step 3, combine like terms. Okay? So this is an example of addition. Subtraction is almost the same, but it has one extra step associated with it. So let's write down this problem. I'll wait for you. First way, the first step is still the same. So Sophia, what am I going to write first? I can. Go ahead, Amaya. What's up? Yeah, so we're going to start by writing this piece first, okay? F of x minus g of x. All right, so what am I going to write next? Why don't you guys try the next step there, and I'll call on you in just a second. See if you can write out the next step. That one takes a little bit more time. Write out the next step, and then I'll call on you to share our train. Give you a few moments. No pun intended. I didn't do it on purpose, but hey, it worked. All right, so let's see what you guys got there. I'm gonna ask Jedrick. Jedrick, what do I write now underneath of this? 3x plus 3, and I would encourage you guys to use these brackets here. And then you said 2x plus 3, right? So the reason for that is because we're replacing f with what f equals, 3x plus 3, and replacing g with what g equals 2x plus 3. All right, now this is where the difference, the different step comes in here for subtraction, okay? With subtraction, when subtracting, we need to distribute the negative. Okay, so that negative there, we're going to distribute that into the parentheses or the brackets, and after you do that, you can get rid of the bracket. So negative 1 times 2x is going to be negative 2x. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. So it just changes their signs. Notice I didn't say it makes them negative. It does here, but I said it changes their sign. So if it's positive, it becomes negative, but if it's already negative, it becomes positive. So it changes the sign.
It's only on the right side?
Only on the right side, yeah, because we're only subtracting that one. All right, from there, we're just going to combine our like terms. So let me ask Shamani, what are my like terms up here? Can you find a pair? Good. So 3 and negative 3 are like terms. What do they combine to make? 0. Good. And you said 3x and what else? Yep. They both have the same variable with the same exponent, so those are like terms, and therefore we can combine them. So when we combine them, we just combine their coefficients. 3 take away 2 is 1x. And do we really need the 0?
No.
Do we need the 1?
No.
So we really can just say the answer is x. Okay? Yeah. All right, one more problem. So the difference with subtraction is that you need to distribute the negative. That's it, okay? All right, let's go ahead and take a look at one more. Now, this one has some other stuff on it, so go ahead and copy down number 3. Yeah. Copy down example 3 there. I did change the slide. I just left my work up there. But there's a new problem. So write down example 3. All right, so let's begin. So Vidal, what do I write first, Vidal?
Negative 5h x minus gx.
Great. So once again, I like to just start by rewriting what they told me to find. Okay, now this next step is interesting. I want to replace these, right? I want to replace those with what they equal. So notice that I have something extra here. I've got a 5 hanging out in the front. So just leave it there. Yeah? Yep, that's it. Very good. So we're still going to have our brackets here, you guys. Everything's still the same. I'm still going to bring down this negative, but that 5 is now going to be in front of the bracket. And now I just have one more thing to distribute. That's it. Okay? So let's go ahead and fill in our blanks here. Let me ask. All right. So Kimaya, I want to replace h of x with what h of x is equal to. What is h of x equal? I want to replace h of x with what it equals. What does h of x equal? I'll give you a hint. It's somewhere on the side where they tell us what it is. What does h of x equal? It's a both. It's a combination. Keep going. 3x. H of x is equal to 3x minus 3. There you go. And so that's what we're going to stick in there. 3x minus 3. I want to try you again. Is that okay? All right. What am I going to replace the g of x with? What is g of x equal? That's it. See, there's nothing that's g of x equals 4x, and then so just 4x. So you're looking in the right spot. You're just not sure when to stop, but that's it. All right, so there we go. All right, so let me ask David. I'm just going to throw this at you. What do you think we can do next? Good. So that's called distribution. That means we're going to multiply it. So I'm going to take this negative 5, and I'm going to multiply it times both of these. So negative 5 times 3x. Well, you just multiply the numbers. So 5 and 3 is 15, right? And it's negative, because we have a negative and a positive. So 15x. Negative 5 times negative 3 is? Positive 15. Now, don't forget, we have subtraction here, right? When you have subtraction, what's the extra thing you need to do? Distribute the negative. So I also need to distribute there. So I'm going to distribute the negative here, and that makes it a negative 4x. All right, so last thing I think I need to do here. Michael, what's the next thing I want to do? True. I would use an S word, but a slightly different S word, but maybe you're thinking the same thing. So what would you do to solve, though? I'm curious. Well, I'll give Mike a chance, but is that you, Leah? I'll come to you if he doesn't get it. Let me try Michael first. Go ahead, Mike. What do you think? Good. Combining like terms. Nice job. So he's noticing that the 15x and the 4x both have the same thing, and you were saying that too there, Steve. So let's put those together. Negative 15 and negative 4. If I put those together, I get negative 19. And there you go. All right. So that's that. I'm going to give you guys 3 problems to work on your own. Can I erase?
Yes.
Anybody still using this? Let me know. All right, so we're going to do 3 problems for you. Let me make it a little bit smaller so they all fit. Sorry, it's so tiny. Is anybody not able to see that? Okay. So here's your guys' 3 problems. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to work on them, and then we'll call some people up to put their answers on the board for us in a minute, okay? If you're stuck, I'd like to see you talk to a neighbor. You can also ask me. But if you just sit and play on your phone or something like and you're not done, that's not participating. So make sure that you do, reach out, talk to somebody, get some help if you get stuck, okay? So let me ask Brianna, what do I do first to begin the problem? Rewrite it, but with one little difference. As I rewrite it, I'm going to, someone want to help me out? Yeah? That's afterwards. But here's the little detail. When I rewrite it, I'm not going to have an in there anymore. What am I going to have?
N divided by 2.
Well, eventually. I'm just going to leave parentheses. So here, this is what I mean. It's a vague question, but I want to start off like this. So just rewrite the equation, but just with blanks where the n was, right? You guys were thinking ahead of me. I hear you, but and you're right. But let's go ahead and take a look at the next one here. Leah, what goes in the blank? Yeah, this guy here. So it goes here, and it goes there, both places. Okay, now here's something that we haven't seen today. We have seen it earlier this year, but we'll see how you do with it. This is the only thing I need to really simplify there, so I'm going to put someone on the spot and see if they know it. If you don't, it's okay though. Denise, 2 times n over 2. What does that simplify into?
2n divided by 2.
Okay, I'll write it. We can go farther. Yeah. So she said it becomes this, but what's 2 divided by 2?
1.
So we don't really need it there. And so the answer is W of n over 2 equals n minus 5. Okay? That's it. We're all done. You guys can take a picture of your notes and upload them, and we'll call it a day.
I don't even have internet in here, so I can't
Oh, the word? I'll write on the board. You don't have to know this word, but it is called function. Basically, it just means you're plugging a function into a function.
Yeah.
So what part twisted your brow there?
It's because I'll be like, yeah. I was like,
So I see you have this.
Even though he says a reminder.
all right.
This is going to change.
But like,
Are you serious?
I usually try my food, but
You don't check your email either?
hell no. I don't do that. That's like what old people say.
Are you serious right now?
Are you serious right now?
So we have this 2 times n over 2 minus 5, right? I'm going to ignore the other guy, the W.
So he should get Instagram and text
First of
me.
all,
Yeah.
I can rewrite
No,
it.
you just kind of weird.
No, if I write it.
Okay, yeah, I'm on my mom's.
Other way. But close. 2 over 1. Now, so multiply, that's what this is, multiplication. This times this. You do the top times top. Parentheses. Anytime you see two things next to each other in parentheses, that means multiply in algebra. So here we know we're multiplying because of that. Now, top times, that's a quick question. Top times top is 2n. Bottom times bottom is 2.
Why are you?
What's 1 times 2? So it went away with multiplying. Now,
Because Ashton too.
divided by 2.
Ashton was on the ground and this whole freaking. No, that was.
So this basically, this whole thing just becomes 1, right?
It's all freaking more on the straight now.
Good. Now,
What is that? What is that? It's like freaking giant caliber. It's a really good giant caliber. Yeah,
She's right there.
I'm serious right now. I'm serious right now. You was it on camera? Nope. He's so weird. When you see on camera. Say what? Are you serious right now? Bro, that's funny. Bro, I was on TikTok, bro, and I seen this one white boy, Are you serious right now, bro? I'm serious right now, bro. Hey, just delete my clip and then only put his. No. I did because I might have said this. That's the only thing I did.
bye guys, have a good day. You too.
The cat who scratched me.